Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rosa, and welcome to episode 175 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. The show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe in your favorite and leave a review. Xboxin10.com, no numbers, is your quick source for links to all of our podcast destinations and social media profiles, which you can follow at Xboxin10. To start, let's talk game releases. The big games out last week were FIFA 23 and Grounded. The games coming out this week include Dakar Desert Rally, Falling Out, Dragon Prana, Paper Flight, Super Speed Dash, and lol surprise Babies Born to Travel. New games with gold for October 2022 have been announced, and as a reminder, Xbox games with gold will no longer include Xbox 360 games. As such, for the first time in a long time, we only have 2 games this month. Beginning on October 1st, Windbound will kick things off with the next Shipwreck Survival Experience from Xbox One, and Bomber Crew Deluxe Edition arrives halfway through the month on October 16th, a strategic World War II bombing game. And now onto last week's biggest news stories, and in a slow news week, we have 4 to go over this week. Number 1, new Overwatch 2 players will need to play 100 matches to unlock original characters. Ryan Leston at IGN writes, new Overwatch 2 players won't be able to use classic Overwatch heroes straight away. A new blog post over at the Overwatch website has revealed that new players will need to grind out about 100 matches to unlock the complete roster of original Overwatch 1 characters. Quote, new players begin with access to a limited set of game modes, heroes, and some other restrictions to onboard them more gradually, end quote, they revealed. Quote, the first phase of our new first-time user experience rapidly unlocks all the game's modes and the ability to chat in-game, and the second phase unlocks all the original Overwatch heroes over the course of approximately 100 matches, end quote. The idea behind this move is to prevent overwhelming new players with too much to learn. Considering each hero has a unique set of abilities and counters, this is certainly an understandable and structured way to get into the game. Quote, the focused experience eases new players into the world of Overwatch by teaching them about different modes, rules, and other high-level aspects of the game in an approachable way, end quote, they said. Importantly, these restrictions won't be in place if you're in a group, so new players can still team up with their friends and try out heroes and game modes they don't have yet. Quote, competitive is the exception to this rule because new players must complete a specific challenge to access this game mode, end quote. While this move could be seen as controversial, it looks as though the Overwatch community is pretty pleased with the change. Quote, 100 games for 32 heroes, that's roughly a new hero to try out every 3 matches, end quote, said one Overwatch Reddit user. Quote, that sounds like a good way to keep players in that just one more game mindset, end quote. I think that Reddit user summed it up pretty good, because when I first read the headline I was like, that seems like an awfully long time. But when you break it down with how many characters in the game, it seems like a great way to ease everyone into this new experience. I'm a fan and I'm excited to check out the beta when it launches later this week. Number 2, The Elder Scrolls Online Firesong DLC adds 15 hours of story content. Tom West at True Achievements writes, The Elder Scrolls Online's recent autumn livestream has revealed that the Firesong DLC will be available on Xbox Series X and S and on Xbox One in November, featuring 15 hours of story content and more. ZeniMax Online Studios has just hosted the Legacy of Britain's Autumn event livestream for The Elder Scrolls Online. The show confirmed that we'll be headed to the previously unexplored island of Galen with the Firesong DLC, which will launch on Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One on the 15th of November. The show also kicked off the Heroes of High Isle in-game community event, which will run until October 11th and offer you a chance to win a number of goodies for very little effort. The Elder Scrolls Online Firesong DLC will mark the end of this year's Legacy of the Bretons adventure, summarizing the story that is focused on High Isles and Aminos. Firesong will take us to another island, Galen, for a further 15 hours of story content where we'll have a chance to meet a number of new characters and monsters as we attempt to fix the political turmoil that has plagued the Bretons thus far. While it's designed to bring this year's adventure to a close, it also features a host of brand new collectibles and in-game achievements, such as one for petting every animal in Galen. If you'd like a taste of the Firesong DLC ahead of its launch on November 15th, you can now play the Prologue quest via the in-game Crown Store for free. We don't give the Elder Scrolls Online much love on this show, but it is one of the biggest MMOs out there. Had to give it some love this week in a slower news story, and I've always been intrigued by this game. Although I'm not a big fan of Skyrim personally, as I do like the Fallout series over that, I want that MMO on console that feels right, and I played this for a little bit and it just didn't hook me. Don't have the time to dedicate, unfortunately, but maybe one day. Number 3, EA and Dynasty Warriors dev reveal their take on Monster Hunter. Michael McWhorter at Polygon writes, publisher Electronic Arts and Koei Tecmo and Dynasty Warriors series developer Omega Force revealed a new take on the Monster Hunter genre on Wednesday, Wild Hearts, an action-focused hunting game set in fantasy feudal Japan, where players will battle giant, nature-infused beasts called Kanemo. Differentiating Wild Hearts from Capcom's Monster Hunter series is a mechanic called Karakuri, which are described as, quote, sophisticated mechanisms crafted from a lost ancient technology, end quote. As seen in the debut trailer for Wild Hearts, those Kakarui include things like fantastical giant mallets, ballistae, and bombs that can handicap, stun, or damage giant creatures. Of course, players will also have a variety of handheld weapons at their disposal, including transforming swords, bows and arrows, muskets, and wakasa, Japanese umbrellas, to help take down giant boars, ape, squirrels, and other mutated monsters. Yosuke Heihachi, executive vice president of Koei Tecmo, noted that the item and weapon crafting is, quote, at the core of the experience, end quote, in Wild Hearts, quote, redefining what could be possible in a beast hunting game, end quote. Players will be able to play Wild Hearts solo or with others, up to 3 players at once, and will support cross-platform play across all platforms. Wild Hearts is headed to PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X and S on February 7th, 2023. This game looks pretty cool, and I've always been intrigued in checking out Monster Hunter, but given the series is so long running, I just never felt the need with Monster Hunter World. However, this is a fresh take, a new opportunity, and maybe we get that gameplay trial as part of EA Play and Xbox Game Pass, so I'd have a chance to check it out for free. Might do that later in 2023. And number 4, Skull and Bones, delayed yet again. Tom West at True Achievements writes, Ubisoft has announced that its upcoming multiplayer pirate adventure Skull and Bones has been delayed into 2023, but an open beta will be held before its launch for players that want to see what's coming. Skull and Bones won't be sailing onto Xbox Series X and S consoles in November as Ubisoft had originally planned, as it's been dry docked until March 9th, 2023. Don't pack away your fancy captain's hat just yet though, as an open beta will be held before its release. Quote, ahoy there pirates, our team is hard at work polishing and balancing the experience ahead of the worldwide launch. As a result, we've made the tough decision to move our release date to March 9th, 2023. We are very eager for you all to get your hands on Skull and Bones and dive in headfirst to the dangerous and exciting world of building your own pirate empire. To give you the best possible experience, we decided to take a little more time to make sure we can deliver exactly that, end quote, Ubisoft says. Ubisoft also said, quote, this is the right decision for both our players and for the long-term success of the game, end quote, and that the new release date will be giving the team more time to apply the last coat of polish that is needed. So let's get this straight. Skull and Bones, first revealed in 2017, was then set for a 2018 release date. It was delayed. It was then set for a 2019 release date. Then we finally got a concrete window of 2022. Then we got a date in 2022. And now we got a release date for 2023. Are we going to go 6 for 6 for this game? Not to be harsh, but I don't really see how this game stands a chance. I didn't think it looked as bad as I was expecting it to, but it just seems like it's been in the cooker for so long. How can this game be good and captivate an audience for a live service when the competition is so tight? I guess we'll see, or maybe never, in 2023. In a slower news week with some time extra on the show, I thought for our fun fact this week, we would go through every game delay announced in 2022, which the running tally is 59. Now, most of these games have been delayed indefinitely or into 2023, but there are a few that have already come out or are slated for later in 2022, but there's not much room left. Let's hit it. Stalker 2 Hearts of Chernobyl, Dying Light 2 for Nintendo Switch, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, The Settlers, Oddballers, Halo Infinite Co-op Campaign, Forspoken, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, Exomecha, EA Sports PGA Tour, Sons of the Forest, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, The Witcher 3 Next Gen, The Day Before, Redfall, Starfield, Dying Light 2 Story DLC, Kerbal Space Program 2, Replaced, Prince of Persia The Sands of Time Remake, Homeworld 3, Sea of Stars, Star Wars Hunters, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora and an unannounced Ubisoft game, The Lord of the Rings Gollum, Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, Season A Letter to the Future, Ark Raiders, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Metal Slug Tactics, Nightingale, Hogwarts Legacy, Deliver Us Mars, Evil West, Planet of Lana, High on Life, Flashback 2, A Space for the Unbound, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, Halo Infinite Season 3, Atomic Heart, Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, Skull and Bones. And then the other games delayed in 2022. King Arthur's Knight's Tale, Ghost Runner Project Hell DLC, Call of Duty Warzone and Vanguard Season 2, Evil Dead the Game, Battlefield 2042 Season 1, Martha is Dead, Roller Champions, 2 Point Campus, Quarry Online Multiplayer, Rumbleverse, Multiversus Season 1, Immortality, Little Orpheus, and Life is Strange Remastered Collection for Nintendo Switch. So that last bunch were all games that are already out. Some of these games are very soon, but can you just see all the games coming out in 2023? And these are the games we know. It's about to be an absolute monster year for what was a pretty lackluster 2020 in video games. I cannot wait. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like the show, please subscribe to your favorite podcast service, share it with your friends, leave a review, and follow on all social media at Xbox in 10. This past week, I've continued my journey through God of War. I'm at the very end of the game, but I'm actually trying to go for the platinum since I've just really been enjoying the game so much, especially playing it on my Backbone controller while watching football on Sundays. Perfect experience. I also did the raid with one of my friends who finally grinded up in Destiny 2, so that was really fun. My name is Brandon Rosa. You can follow me on Xbox at Brosa93. Hope you all have a great week, stay safe, and keep on gaming.